It gives me great pleasure to see you all back from our annual recess. In truth, it's always been a special privilege to welcome my colleagues into this chamber, and today is no exception. I believe the recess has afforded us an opportunity to take stock of the journey so far, consult widely with our constituents, and be re-energized for the task ahead. Let me also use this opportunity to, on behalf of the entire Senate, commiserate with our colleague, Senator Gilbert Naji Enugu East, who recently lost his amiable wife, Lady Anne, after a brief illness. We pray that the good Lord will grant her eternal rest, and you, our dear Senator Gilbert, the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. Distinguished colleagues, we have in the last two sessions of our term devoted enormous time working hard on critical legislation, some with historical essence, others with relatively high-level implications for enhancing the welfare of our people and putting food on their tables. I'm happy to tell you that some of these bills, which we have since become law, have already started yielding expected gains. This is especially so with the secure transactions, immovable assets, which has increased lending in the private sector, especially into small and medium-sized civil companies. We expect more to come. Our ultimate aim will be inclusive growth and full employment for our people. Distinguished colleagues, as a firm believer that economic security is first and most important security we can offer our people, it is the apparent inadequacy of this security that is at the heart of the general disaffection of our people towards government. We have done this with the belief that with less hunger on the street, with more of our people gainfully engaged, insecurity will be significantly reduced and our economy revamped. In this period, the session we're starting, I expect us to conclude our work on the National Transport Commission Bill, the National Road Funds Bill, the Petroleum Industry Fiscal and Host Community Bill, which are pending. It is my hope that we shall conclude work quickly, also on some of the banking sector related bills. As we continue to take action to strengthen the economy, let me use this opportunity to congratulate all Nigerians for working together to get us out of recession. Let me particularly congratulate our colleagues for the leadership role you all played at the time we're in recession, and from it the certain resolutions we passed here towards supporting the executive in getting us out of recession. While we congratulate ourselves, it's important that we don't rest on ours, as this is not the end in itself. There's still a lot of work ahead. Our aim is to see our economy create millions of jobs and growth rate of 7% or more. By the first week of October, we expect to begin to review the implementation of the 2017 budget. To set the stage of this, I'm sure it will be interesting to invite the relevant ministers to come and brief Senate on the implementation so far. Nigerians want to see a more significant improvement in the level of implementation of the budget this year. Let me also therefore use this opportunity to call on all our standing committees to begin the process of putting together their oversight plan for a close and proper review of performance of 2017. In the same token, please let me remind ourselves of the initiatives we started here in the Stride of Made in Nigeria initiative, and the commitment to ensure that we will oversight to ensure that in the implementation of the 2017 budget, priority is given to products made in Nigeria. I would like therefore to see the committee demonstrate proactively and readiness to engage government to ensure that our annual budget is fully dedicated to local procurement. All committees of the Senate must be involved in this and find better channels to engage our people and enable feedback. Distinguished colleagues, a house divided against itself will not stand. More than ever before, we must stand for the unity, indivisibility of our country. We must condemn in strongest possible terms all forms of violence as a form of engagement. The Constitution and the law has laid down tools and procedures for us to push through our interests, as all democratic nations do. Our nation is blessed with exceptionally talented and beautiful people. We are collectively strong, and it's time for all of us to stand for our nation. Distinguished colleagues, as leaders closer to our people, we must rededicate ourselves to the values we have institutionalized in this chamber. In this chamber, we are first and foremost Nigerians. Yes, we are Igbos, Yorubas, Hausas, Fulanese. Yes, we are Muslims, Christians, and traditional worshippers. But we must, in all our conversation and decisions, continue to be first and foremost Nigerians, as Nigerian citizens by our brothers keepers. To many of our youth, to many of our families from south to north, need a lifting. Our job is to help government give them a hand, and once they make them feel again great being Nigerians. As we work to make our constitution better, it must be remembered that the constitutional review is a continuous process which must undertake with the vision of the future in our minds. The process we have already done will continue in earnest with the meeting this week, next week, with the speakers of the various states of assembly and National Assembly, where we will formally hand over the product of the constitutional amendment we have done. As promised, we will continue to review or revisit and consider areas of the Constitution which we believe needs further work to enable us to have a collective dream of a more prosperous Nigeria. In the fight against corruption, aside from the bills that we have passed, it's important that we sharpen our oversight tools to ensure that government remains accountable always. However, I urge us all to, more than ever, operate above board ourselves. In the last 2 years, we have successfully exposed a number of cases of corruption in our agencies and officers of government. As a result, government has saved enormous amount of public resources. This is what Nigerian people expect of us, and we must continue to deliver on this. We must not make the mistake of resting on ours. I say this to encourage you to keep up with the good work of exposing corruption as you have been doing so respective. Same way, I acknowledge one of our colleagues, Senator Issa, who had the courage also to expose, unfortunately, was attacked, blackmailed. This will continue, distinguished colleagues, but we must not bow down or be intimidated. It is a sacrifice that we must make for our role as distinguished senators. Distinguished colleagues, our focus on intervention critical to our national development will continue in this session. We will be interacting with stakeholders with the aim of repositioning our educational sector, addressing our health sector, and also we must address to expand access to basic education and see how we can incentivize investment in the area of infrastructure repair. Distinguished colleagues, a lot has happened in our nation within the last few weeks, especially with floods. Let me take a moment to commiserate with all Nigerians who may be affected by the recent floods. Our hearts and prayers are with you at this period. On a solitary note, I am happy to report to you, distinguished colleagues, that while we're away, we also take note of some of the strides Nigerians have been making. We congratulate our women on the winning of the African Basketball Championship. We also congratulate our Super Eagles on their journey so far for the World Cup qualifiers, and will continue to support and encourage them. Before I conclude this speech, let me, on another winning note, and on your behalf, welcome Mr. President, who has acknowledged his return to office through an executive communication within the period of our vacation back to the saddle. We pray that the Almighty Allah will continue to grant him full restoration. Let me wish you all a very successful session. Thank you and God bless.